Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we will be talking about how box plots are created in Python using Plotly, and we'll be doing uh, the entire exercise in the following 9 steps that are mentioned here. So just a quick refresher on what box plots are. So they actually look like these boxes which have the various cuts as you can see here, and every cut has a separate meaning. So for example, the entire height of the box plot is known as the IQR, which is the interquartile range, which is nothing but your 75th percentile minus 25th percentile. Then we have these cuts that are also mentioned in the box plots that are known as the upper fence, which is usually not drawn as mentioned here, which is equal to the third quartile plus 1.5 times the IQR. And then we have the max observation below the upper fence, and this would be the minimum observation just above the lower fence. And then we have these points mentioned as the outliers as well. So let's get ahead. We'll be only using two libraries here. One is Plotly to make the charts, and the another one is Pandas to handle the data frame. So the data frame, I have declared the data frame here itself, so you won't have to separately read another file. So we have just two things here. One is a numerical column, which is weight, and the second one is a categorical column, which is section. So let's get ahead and create a basic box plot. We can simply create it by using this statement called px.box, where we pass the data frame. We have the x-axis value and we have the y-axis value. So we've have three box plots plotted here for section A, B, and C. And as you can see, when I hover on top of the box plot, we have various all these cuts marked as mentioned. Okay. So moving on, let us adjust the height and the width of this box plot using these two attributes, which are width and height. So once we do that, as you can see, okay, the uh, width has been reduced a bit and the height as well. So let's move ahead and let's display the underlying data points. What do I mean by that is like every point on the basis of which this box plot has been created will be plotted over here. So this is what Plotly offers us this additional sort of feature, which usually you wouldn't have noticed in other libraries. So this box plot is plotted on these specific data points. Okay, and we can do this simply by mentioning this points equal to all. Okay, moving on. So let's try changing the colors of the box plot. So I do that by using this attribute, which is color discrete map, and then for each of the sections I need to mention a color. So we can have different colors as well. If we simply change this to red, then we'll have different colors for the section A, right, as can be seen here. Next, let's add a title to our chart. We can do that by simply adding a statement called update layout, and then we have the text mentioned here and the position of the title mentioned over here. Moving on, so there is a feature of boxplot which is known as notches, and the explanation for that notch is mentioned here. So what it is exactly, it is so mathematically it is the 95% confidence interval of the median uh, that and then there's plus minus this particular range. Okay, so this is known as the notch, and usually it looks like this in a box plot. But let's go ahead and let's try to create this to the same box plot that we have been working with. So we would do nothing but simply add this attribute, which is notched equal to true. Okay, and then once we execute it, so you would notice that I've changed the color also to turquoise to make it look a bit better. So you would notice that okay, these are notched box plots, and they are like looking slightly different than what we discussed here, and that is simply because the data is of this manner. So that's why it's looking like this, right? So these are notched box plots that we've created. Finally, we would finish this entire exercise by uh, using a good theme for this chart. And what I've done here is I've created a for loop to just display all the themes for this tutorial. And what you can simply do is select the theme for yourself which looks the best. And let me just scroll through and look at all the themes that I have plotted here. So I particularly like this dark theme, which you might have seen in the thumbnail as well. So what we do to change the theme is simply, let me just correct the indentation for this code. So we simply mention this attribute which is template equal to, and then we mention the theme over here. So the black theme was actually called Plotly Dark. So I'll do that and then I'll execute. So here's the final notched customized box plot that you might have seen in the thumbnail. Thank you guys for watching.